All right, guys, thank you for joining us tonight. Let me know how it sounds. Uh, this is probably going to be the last time I use this dumbass app. Um, it's just the worst, and it was working fine. And like everything else, they want to update it and touch it, and then they screw it up. So here we are.
Fixing what's broken, right?
Yeah. This is probably going to be the last time I use this dumbass app. It's just the worst, and it was working fine. All right. Like everything else. Dan Phillips. They didn't touch it, and then they screw it up. So
Fixing what's broken, right?
There's an echo on your end.
All right, any better?
Hold on.
This guy's a little touchy, huh? Because now I can't hear you at all. Mike is echoing. I can't hear you at all.
Mike is echoing. Echo sucks.
Mike is echoing.
Do me a favor, Mike. Can you hear me? You can't hear me? Echo sucks. Do me a favor, Mike. Can you hear me? You can't hear me? No, you can't hear me.
Should be able to take care of it in just a second here. I got you.
All right, you can hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. No, you can't hear me.
Should be able to take care of it in just a second here. I got you.
All right, you can hear me now? The echo's back.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Give me 2 seconds. You can hear me now? The echo's back.
Just I need headphones.
Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, this might be one of those.
Yeah, this is going to be the last router. Wait, then plug it back. It's not the router. It's this app.
Plugging it back in. Yeah, we streamed last night flawless on via Skype. It was flawless.
Someone says because he's in the wrong chair. Probably. This is the same problem I had with Calamity Girl.
Wow.
It's the same problem.
Incredible.
The echoing thing.
Since it's 5x5, and now it's back. And echo. What the fuck?
Echo, yeah.
It's really weird because I don't hear you.
Probably. This is the same problem I had with Calamity Girl.
Wow.
Yeah, and they said, okay, hold on.
The echoing since it's 5x5, and now it's back. And echo.
Yeah, the echoing is back.
It's really weird because I don't hear you.
This is the same problem I had with all right. Calamity Girl.
Wow.
Yeah, and they said, okay, hold on.
The echoing since it's 5x5.
Hold on.
And now it's back. And echo.
Yeah, the echoing is back.
It's really weird because I don't hear you.
Every time I turn on the echoing thing,
It's back.
the mics go out.
I got your audio back. That's cool.
Let's try this. One, two. Can you hear me?
How about him? Yep.
Every time I turn on the echoing, is he still echoing? The mic's still on. Hold on. I think I solved it. One, two. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Every time I turn on the echoing, the mic's still on.
It sounds like Vietnam communications.
Right?
Sir, we can't hold them up, sir. We can't hold them up.
We're trying so hard, Jason. We're trying so hard. We're behind enemy
Starship
lines,
Trooper
bro.
shit.
It's not as bad. Livingston, man, I went in and I selected a different mix of ours, which wasn't the show mix, but host and guest.
Yeah, you're not echoing anymore. All right.
Okay, no more echo.
Sounds good. All right. Holy
Praise.
shit.
Praise the Lord.
Now, what did you guys do on your end?
So I switched we've got a Vocaster hub to plug all the fancy Rode mics and the headphones and everything into, so that we can mix the audio so that we sound halfway decent. And there's a couple different mixes in there, and if you don't pick the right one, sometimes you get weird ass echoes and shit through it.
All right.
So
All right.
it can be tricky, especially when you change apps all the time.
Right. Okay. So then that's what it was. So it's probably. All right. I got it now. So it's definitely both apps have to match up in the audio sounds for it to work. All right. Good. So now everybody's saying we're 5x5. We're good to go. People are frustrated.
Fantastic.
Like, I'm getting out of here. I'm leaving. I'm like, I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah, no, we're sorry, man. Sorry.
Because the thing is, we don't know what this sounds like until we go live.
No, because when we were talking before we went live, everything was fine. You know, I could hear no problem, no problem. We were having perfect communication.
Yeah. All right. So, oh no, the fuck did I do? Delete that. All right. So let's get on with the show. Since nice chair. I hate this chair. I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No, this chair.
Yeah,
Absolutely not. No. I don't know what my brother did to it, but it's fuck. And there's a million levers under here. I don't know which does what. I don't know if I hit the
Oh,
right
they
one.
like to lift and tilt and do all this stupid shit you like wish it didn't do. You can stretch out. You
Yeah.
can
See,
lay
I
in
just
as
found
a
that
bed.
lever. There's too
You
many
can
levers
break
under
the
this
Yeah.
fucking chair.
Next thing you know, you're laying on the floor looking up at the ceiling.
You can
Yeah.
break the damn.
Wrong one. I hit the wrong one.
People see me launched into the wall. All right, so guys, tonight, as you can see, this is Livingston Man, who's not on camera, and Hudson Valley Prepping Survival, who's on camera, and then myself.
What's up?
Tonight, guys, we are going to be talking about the United States military going up against the Mexican cartel, or rather the South American cartel, because I think they're all going to join together at some point to fight against the military. There are a lot of problems with the United States military going up against the cartel. And being that the cartel does not care, if their hands are forced, and no, that's the wrong word. You can't force their hands. What they're going to do next, they love doing. So we're going to see horrific problems on American soil because of the cartel. Now, one has to ask, is the battle or is the problems that we're going to see and have with them, is it worth it? Or should we all, as American citizens, suck it up and handle it accordingly? Because what they're going to do, which we're going to talk about a little later tonight, is not going to be anything short of fun. And I know there are a lot of John Wick wannabes out there that'll be like, I'll get into it with them. They don't play by the same rules that you think they play by. They play by an entirely... I've been looking up Mexican cartels for as long as I can remember, since I heard them. I've watched videos upon videos of the things they do to people that steal from them, let alone shut down their entire production of drugs. So what comes next after that isn't going to be cool. Mike, please put some input on this, on what you think could happen.
So we know how ruthless and brutal these guys can be. We also know that these folks are in the U.S. military already, right? We know they're in there. They go in there and they get trained, and they take that stuff back and they teach the rest of the cartels, right? So they know our tactics. They know the things that we're going to do. And that's a scary thought, man. You know, to know that you're going up against somebody who knows what moves you're going to make. They know where you're going to come from. They know how hot and heavy you're going to come, and they have the same hardware that everybody else does. You know, so you're literally matched gun for gun against these guys. It's not like you're going up against some goat herders up in the mountains. You know what I mean? They're highly funded, they're highly trained, and they are ruthless. They are ruthless. They have no rules of engagement. The rules of engagement are they live and you die. So it's I don't think they're going to quit, man. I don't think they're going to quit because it's extermination at this point, right? For them, honestly.
And that's the approach we need to take with them. The approach of being better than them and not being as savage as them is not going to work with this warfare.
No.
And that includes us who get close enough to them, or they try to enter our world by coming on our properties, trying to kidnap us, trying to do the million and one things that they can
Put
do.
in work. Put in work on
Yeah,
them.
I said if we get involved, then you have to get involved. The problem is like you just said, their reach is, first of all, let's forget about the fact
Global.
that they joined the military. Look at the amount of people they can pay off with, the amount of money they can pay people off with, to get information on every American citizen who has a firearm.
Yep.
They can engage or know about an American citizen they got into an argument with at a store, get his license plate, call the DMV up, pay up whoever they're going to pay off, and let the chips fall from where they made from there. These people don't have, they have an infinite reach. And there was a guy on Instagram, I think it was Instagram. He was saying, "Yo, that the U.S. The Mexican cartel, they want that smoke," and I'm like, "It isn't that easy, man. The Mexican cartel can do whatever they want because they could throw money at whoever they want to find out whatever information they need."
Yep. Yep. They will buy you, or they will torture it out of you one way or the other. They're going to get what they want.
Exactly.
They're ruthless, bro. They're absolutely ruthless. And
Look who just showed up.
trouble's here.
So I think that by designating these organizations as terrorist organizations, legally, like apparently, like courts and lawyers felt that this fit the bill and was legal, at least until proven otherwise. Common tactic of the United States government. We don't know if it's legal or not, but we're going to do it until somebody says otherwise. But I think a good step, because what it opens up to is not like Mexico is talking about like a ground invasion, ground incursion, and whatever else. But if you're going to fund like or otherwise turn a blind eye to
the
a
cartels,
criminal enterprise that is harming
the world,
a criminal enterprise in general, then what this designation does is it's not so much a ground invasion, boots on the ground. Now you're talking about like drone strikes and stuff, like Obama era stuff. This is nothing new. You've been designated terrorist. Here go to big boss man. Got him. Since when is this new to us, America? Yeah. We drone strike terrorists, and if these people are as bad as we say they are, then like finally now, and if Mexico can stomp their feet and complain about it, but like that's your country it's being allowed to happen in, and if you guys need help with that, we stand right here ready to rock and roll. Yeah. So I don't know what the problem is. All of a sudden, like we're worried about our sovereignty. Well, if you need help with your effing sovereignty, well, we stand by ready to help an ally.
I mean, I think it's a well-known fact that the cartels kind of running the show down there right now.
Yeah,
they will go toe-to-toe with the Mexican military and win in most cases, because like you said, they are so well funded, they're so heavily armed, they can just take it to whoever, wherever, without issue. So it takes a fighting force like the U.S. Special Forces to combat people like this. So it's going to be really interesting to see. I think what we're going to see is the U.S. go in at night, right? We're going to go in the dark, and everybody's going to get out with their nods on, and they're going to fucking clean house, tie everybody up, leave them hogtied on the ground. Then the Mexican government comes in, puts them in the trucks, and takes them to the detention facilities so that they get the credit for everything, and it doesn't look like we're doing all the work.
Well, that was one of the listen, there's a ton of articles going back almost 2 years, and having even the Biden administration was considering having the United States military step in on this. I found that to be interesting, and they were wargaming many different scenarios as far as how they would go in, who they would start with first, which family. Like it's a whole, it's bigger than like Trump saying we're gonna pick this fight. It's way bigger than that, and I don't think he grasps the situation of how bad it can get, because reading the other articles from 2 years ago, they're like, this can get bad, and this can absolutely spill into American society. And I'm not talking about the southern border, like Texas and them states down there. I'm talking about
we're talking like Chicago, Manhattan. Those are the places we're talking about. Memphis, Tennessee. And you name the major metropolitan area, there's cartel members there, hands down,
Right.
because that's where drugs sell the most, and that's where they're going to be because that's where they make their money from.
Does their logic then lie in the fact that if they terroristically attack American society, that we will then buy more drugs and support them?
No, I don't think I think everybody's addicted to the drugs and they're going to buy them no matter what. So that's that's one of those niche markets that you're into where everybody wants your product. All you got to do is make it.
I think the market is killing itself when it comes to drugs.
I'd like to congratulate drugs for winning the war on drugs. It's been going on since the 80s, bro, and drugs has been crushing it ever since. I see people legalizing it now.
The fentanyl in the drugs is doing its work. Honestly, it's performing the Lord's work. I hate to say is that it's just taking it out. It's a self-cleansing virus. Whereas it's just killing its users and there won't be any left, which, I hate to say it, but as a means to an end, drug addiction is on its way out because it's simply too dangerous to do drugs, you guys. Everybody knows somebody, especially during that opiate epidemic that happened.
Oh, yeah.
I lost a handful of friends to that. And people I didn't even know was on it like that. But it was because they put poison in the drug supply.
Yeah.
And it continues to this day. And every minute that everybody stays on that, like more and more of them, it's a weird pharmaceutical industry where they're killing their patients.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I don't know that the cartels and these kind of people are doing that. That's CIA hit shit. You know what I mean? They'll go in and poison a batch of drugs to see where people are dying so that they can follow them back. This goes back to Prohibition when they used to poison the alcohol that people would make in upstate New York so that people would go blind in the city and they would know who in the city was getting their liquor because, well, they're blind now. Did you hear? Old Ted's blind now. He must have been drinking that stuff. It's like, oh, yeah, we know where that came from because we put the shit in it to make people go blind. But that's CIA tactics and shit, man. I think that's really embedded into all of this cartel stuff as well. The CIA's got a big hand in there. I think that a lot of their black budget, aside from, as we found, coming from fucking Social Security and every other USAID project, is funded by the drug cartels, honestly. Right?
No. Well, yeah, listen, the cartel was given carte blanche to operate on American soil, right? Because how else would it? I mean, you think about it. How is it that, for example, that drug that everyone hates mentioning on YouTube because you get blackballed for it, ivermectin, right? They went out of their way to stop the usage of that, and yet somehow fentanyl and everybody else is still on the streets. They were threatening doctors' lives over this shit, and they still have. And the problem is, the federal government is always going to tell you, we can't stop it, it's too far gone. There is no such thing as you can't stop anything. You can stop what you want. To stop it, you have to be brutally honest with yourself and brutally honest about what you have to do to stop it. And the problem is they don't want to. I already figured out a way, and granted, you might not stop it 100%, but you can absolutely slow it the hell down. If you carpet bomb every single field in the world that produced drugs, you would absolutely slow it down. You would have
but if you did that, you might harm American troops, bro. That's the weird part.
Why? Because they get high, or
no? Why were those guys standing there guarding that?
Yeah, the poppy fields, man. They were in Afghanistan guarding poppy fields for a decade. You know what I mean? Because it was their industry, and that was the only export that Afghanistan had, and it was how Afghanistani government made their money. If we took away their opium fields, they would have no money.
Big Pharma starts in the fields, the poppy fields, the rainforest. The tentacles of giant corporation penetrate so deep into everything that it's hard to understand. I'm not going to sit here and act like I do, but I know that it's so much more pervasive than all of us, which is all this corporation and giant money really was. When you hear about like indigenous populations being displaced in the Amazon because of illegal loggers, that's like Jeff Bezos and his gang of fucking paper barons doing that. You know, it's you're never really presented, like you're told the story of like you should weep for these indigenous people, but you're never being really told who it was exactly that was doing that to them. And as we continue to like rape the planet and just run roughshod all over human decency and camaraderie and every other thing, it's worth pointing out that, you know, we could do better.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
And that's just everybody. I mean, I'm not pointing any fingers. And if I am, I'm just kind of fucking everywhere. You know, fuck all y'all, bro. About tired of it. Honestly, if I'm being frank with you. Can I be Frank instead of Livingston?
Sure, be Frank.
I'm Frank. I'm about tired of it.
It's 2025, bro. You could be a fucking toaster if you want to be.
For the Trump supporters, listen, shut the fuck up. You won. Get over it. For the libs, shut the fuck up. You lost. Get over it. And everybody else, like, come on, man. We all just live in here, and we get all of us being presented with unprecedented events every single day, get knocked off our fucking balance like a martial arts. Imagine it, right? Because that's what you do to a person, is you keep them off their balance. You never let them regain the momentum. And that is us as a society, as we are being pummeled with over information. We are being psychologically degraded, decomposted, if that's a word. If it ain't, I just made it. Our brains are being turned to mush. We are being rotted by just over information. We know too much about shit that we have no business even caring about. And then what we do is we get ourselves worked up and care about some shit that don't matter. And then we start to fight and disintegrate as a society. And that is the point.
Just keep the disintegration going, huh?
At this point, I'm going to mute my microphone and be silent for the rest of it because I said it.
Well, listen, you know, saying what Livingston Man was just talking about, everything that's going on, it's amazing how, certain things are allowed to happen and other things are not. And I mean, like, for example, going after firearms, right? They're dwindling our rights away a little bit at a time. And then they turn around the drugs and go, we can't get rid of it. I mean, like, again, and the crazy shit is the CIA, the FBI, the ATF, we know exactly where all of these fields are, right? Some of us, not all of us. We know exactly where the fields are. We know that they're in locations, actually, where you could only get in there by plane or boat, right? And that's even worse because that means they're shipping this shit a little bit at a time in these little boats or these dinghies that they have and up like rivers and canals. And here we are saying that we can't do anything about it. You know, I mean, a carpet bombing party would work out just fine. And it would damage their it would damage their products and slow it down so much that the United States would have millions of people going through withdrawals.
Oh, yeah.
Because there'd be so little drugs. But the opposite side of that coin is if you did something that drastic, if you caused something that bad, how many drug addicts would then turn into psychopaths offing one another for drugs because there's less out there? They could also be wargaming that and thinking they would be dealing with way more volatile crimes because these people are desperate and looking for a fix.
Yeah, and when the people get desperate like that, that's when they start inventing the new shit. You know what I mean? They'll try anything to get off. Like they're under the fucking sink mixing shit together, trying to figure out what's going to work for them.
Shit,
and then they're going to make something that's probably even fucking worse than what's already out there. And I think if you're going to make a move like that and go down there and just totally destroy the drug trade, you need to bolster the healthcare system to be able to receive these people, because there's going to be a fucking lot of them, bro.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of them. Because, again, like Livingston Man said, it extends into the prescription drugs. It starts in the fields and it ends in maybe your home. So it's going to be a problem at a lot of places.
Just to mention, a couple of people are complaining about YouTube blocking comments.
Yeah, they're
That
terrible
might
at
be,
it, man.
guys, because of
Especially if they see me.
well, that's because of like what we mentioned so far. So
Oh yeah.
they go out of their way to start. What is it? I call it downshifting, but there's another term they use. And like by the
I
end
call
of
it
the
shadow banning.
right, they start doing all kinds of shit, and so you won't see this video pop up like after today. You might even try to look for it. You won't see it, but I'll see it on my end.
Hmm.
So if you're getting frustrated with the comments, I apologize. But certain subjects
Yeah,
brings out the worst in YouTube. So just remember
nobody here is blocking your comments that much. I know the mods here we're free speechers, so
yeah,
yeah.
yep, exactly.
Maybe the mods are being a little heavy-handed. I don't.
No,
It's not my channel,
Yeah.
but I don't. I let people say whatever they want to say. The haters want to hate. That's fun. We'll tear you up, bro. It's fun.
You gotta turn your microphone off.
No, I'm yelling through yours.
Oh, he's yelling.
Yelling through yours.
Yeah, no, we do love a troll, man. There's trolls are great.
They're like, don't feed the trolls. I'm like, no, I'm gonna overfeed this son of a bitch. It's gonna be fun.
You know what's funny about the trolls? I mean, like I've had trolls say like bad shit, dumb shit, try to be evil, all this crazy shit. And I'm like, why? You know,
Yeah,
like
why?
if you're not gonna meet me in the street and say this shit to my face, why would you think that you're gonna say it on here and like, and then think I'm gonna flip out about it on top of that, like you know, and
Yeah.
I've watched YouTubers, man. I don't understand it. Grown men cry about being bullied online and what channel?
By internet trolls.
Yeah, by internet troll. Imagine
It's like why I'm here. I'm like, I wish you would drag me, bro. Do it.
yeah, like
Yeah, no,
I told people, I said, I don't. You can say whatever you want. I don't give a shit. But the watching a grown man cry and shut his channel down because he was being bullied on the internet is the Wild West. You got to
yeah,
understand
man,
that.
you got to
shit.
have some thick skin.
Pull your guns out and shoot back, dude.
Yeah,
No,
you better start typing.
I watched a chick 2 days ago. I wasn't watching her, but she had a video on, and I think she was talking about working out, right? So before we get into the working out, the bitch looked like a rhino. All right, so a guy, a Marine, excuse me, a Marine puts a comment. You should put those weights down and hit the treadmill or hit the cardio, Walrus. With that was the only comment he left. She did look like a walrus. All right, but that's not the point. So the point is, she looks into this guy. She finds out he's a Marine. She sees that he's in California somewhere, and she supposedly reports him to his commanding general, commanding general over there, whoever it is, the black guy.
To the superiors, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
get his ass in trouble.
Yeah, the top echelon guy. I'm like, how the fuck I said, there's no way she did all of that. Because to get to him, to report to him, you got to do like X, Y, and Z, right? You got to go to the ranks. And I said, I doubt very much the Marine Corps is like, he calls you a walrus. Oh my God, nothing's gonna happen to us. So of course I replied.
Better investigate.
My comment to her was like, listen, walrus, he's not gonna get in trouble. He'll be fine. I said, you think the Marine Corps is gonna, stop the presses for you? I said,
yeah, because he called you a walrus.
Yeah, and that's all he said. Now, if he would have said some next level shit, like, called her a black monkey or something, then fine.
Yeah.
Then you can't. But calling her a walrus, which she does look like it, and the fact that you went out of your way to give up this man's name on the internet, which again it was on Instagram. She went and told everybody he was a Marine, and you had people up there talking about, oh, Black Queen, go and get it. Black Queen. I'm like, the bitch is trying to ruin a man's life because she didn't like the fact that she's been working out for a year and she still looks like a fucking walrus or a seal or whatever. You're ready to throw fucking fish at her and like, sit down, bitch, and shut up. Like, I couldn't believe.
Walrus Queen.
Yo, I couldn't fucking believe the amount of the energy it took for her to get there. I was just like,
listen, I've been here. Okay, so I went to England one time. I'm sitting in a pub and I walk up to these two ladies and I was like, hey, ladies, what part of England are you from? And they were like, Wales. I was like, sorry. I was like, what part of England are you Wales from? I got 2 black eyes for that one, but I'll never forget it. And it's like the same thing. I feel you.
Yeah, it's fucking. Sorry.
Walrus.
Walruses, like narwhals too. Like some of them got the fucking.
Oh god, the
The
spiked
thing-
hair. Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry. I hate it when people. People hate it when I say the F word. I know it's hard.
Oh man, angry prepper wakes up, he
hurts.
stretches, and he gives out the old fuck shit piss, and that's how we start the day, right? That's how we get it done.
That's it. That's pretty,
Bargain
I mean,
style,
I try. I try to get. I try to curse, but I'm just.
I
So
feel like,
tired.
and,
all the time, man.
I wake up in the morning, and what I feel like is that enough about women's rights, and I think the discussion needs to steer more towards women's wrongs.
Women's what?
Wrongs.
Wrongs.
Because there's, I think it's slept on topic. Chat, what say you? Let's get them.
Yeah, you don't want to throw that one to the chat.
Well, too late.
Well, somebody
Angry,
just said insulting is so mature. I don't know if they're being.
Well, it's
who did I insult?
It is what it is.
I don't
Sometimes
people, I tell the truth. It's just them that hate.
Sometimes the people are out there, and what they're really looking for is the attention, and they really don't care where they get it from. They just want the attention, and when you engage with them, it makes them in a way it makes them happy. Even if it's not a positive engagement, it's still an engagement, and that's what does it for him.
Speaking of engagement, there was I don't know. I don't think he was a YouTuber. I don't know what he was. Maybe he was a TikTok, but he went to some buffet. I think you guys might have seen this one, the lobster. And he piled a bunch of lobsters on his plate. He had 2 plates of lobsters piled. I think he had a total of like 12 or 13 or whatever it was. He ate one and he threw the other 11 away in the garbage. And he filmed it the entire time. And I'm like, and now I told myself, had I been in the restaurant, I think me and that guy would have been rolling around the ground, right? I would definitely, because it's you went out of your way to be an asshole, like that Johnny Somali guy. You ever heard of him?
No.
You got to look him up.
Same kind of thing, like pompous shit.
Right, but he goes to other countries. Like he was in South Korea, started some shit, disrespecting their culture. He went to Japan. He got kicked out of there. One of the Yakuza members actually came after him. And when they said Yakuza, I'm like, that guy's not. And as soon as he took his shirt off, I was like, yep, he's Yakuza. He had the tats to match. Yeah. And then he got kicked out of Japan before. And he said, you don't leave now, you're going to end up, But anyway, these people do this nonsense just for, like you said, the attention, the clicks, And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with people? Like, why is everything,
It's the dopamine, bro. It's got everybody fried. All the clicks, all the likes, all the instant gratification shit. We stand and tap our toe waiting for the microwave.
We're going to do this. So Romy Davis asks, I hate to ask, but can we get back to prepping? And so, yes, what you should do is go to your local gas station, get you one of these torch lighters, and this way you can light a fire. And now we're doing prepping and survival now. You're happy.
Yeah, torch lighters are great because they work after you get them wet. Right?
Oh, as far as getting back to prepping, with this nonsense that, listen, if the United States, I don't see us engaging in this because the military generals know exactly what this is going to cost. This is going to cost not just soldiers' lives, because it will. It will cost a lot of
civilians.
But it will also cost civilians. It will absolutely spill over into us. They will go out of their way to do whatever it takes to make sure we don't interfere with their money. That being said, we should be switching gears from drugs and going right after the sex trafficking. We should be in that world.
Yep, 100%.
But, and the craziness is, I've said it a million times, again, I sit here in Washington Heights in an apartment, and I know some of the players in this game. And when talking to somebody who's been tracking these guys, he's told me that I shouldn't mention it on here, at least not yet. At least who the groups are. And one of the groups, one of the groups, I'm not going to say the name, right? But one of the groups is a Bible thumping group. right? So they're those people that look at you because you don't believe in God or you don't read the Bible and you're not like,
And
you're
they
not
look
with
down the
Jesus,
nose at you.
right?
Yep.
But they are moving kids around in their circle. They're moving kids around,
No shit.
right? And
It,
so,
it would not fucking surprise me, man.
no, you know why it doesn't? Because the amount of money you make in that industry, even in your circle, is tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if you expand out of that circle, you can make more, right? So the
Wow.
way the money moves there, it pretty much stays within that world, right? It doesn't go out unless you buy something. But imagine having the knowledge of all of these groups out there that deal with this shit, right? And Bears Group, for example, they're dealing with it on a different end, you know,
Yeah.
and they're seeing pushback from different groups of people that they thought they would never see, and they know exactly who's who. They know what's what. The government knows who's who and what's what. They know who's involved, and they choose not to do anything about it.
It's wild, man.
Every now
It's
and
wild.
again, they'll go after a small group of people and be like, "Oh, that group there, they were moving kids, and that group there." But that's it. That's where that's where they stop. They don't go after the bigger fish who are the politicians.
It's
Politicians know a guy named Miguel. Miguel's moving fucking 200 girls throughout D.C.
I think that's the biggest problem, man. I think this is all connected to the politicians, and I think that's why they kept such a close wrap on that Epstein list. It was all
Yeah,
national security related because I think when it comes out, we're going to see the names of some people that might shock folks. Word on
we'll
the
be dead
street
before
is
that list
people.
comes out.
I I'd like to
Yep.
see him just let it go, man. Just let it go. If
Yeah.
it's really national security, if these people really did what you claim that they
Yeah, put
did,
a hold on it for 99 years, so this
let
way everybody who involved in it
let
is
the
dead
public
and there's
deal with
nothing
it,
they can do
man.
about it.
Let the public deal with it. We could start the pedo wood chipper service, bro. I'll tow it, and we can just feed them all day long.
Okay,
Once
no.
they legalize it, just feed them to the chipper.
Right. So now here's the thing with this is in the absence of transparency, when they, in the same way that they did the JFK files and whatnot, when you keep it a secret and you clamp down on it, well, you breed conspiracy theory and people start putting their own thing together and the truth becomes lost. The truth becomes unobtainable.
Okay.
And this is again like this Jeffrey Epstein list is going to become the stuff of legend. It's going to become like just anybody's going
believe it, you
to
mean?
right.
Okay.
Exactly. It's going to be obfuscated
Folklore.
and turned into the mist. You'll never. It become completely just redacted and unverifiable ever, and it will only exist in legend and memory.
Totally could be, man.
Anyone will be able
That's
to.
typically how the government does things.
Right. And it's easy enough because, again, information overload. Actually, we're going to release the files to you, but it's so voluminous and so obfuscated and so redacted
So
that
you think
you'll
they'll
never
pull
be able to actually find the truth from it.
another scandal fog on us like they did when Snowden came out, and then the Clinton emails, and then all that other crap at the same time, all the missing money from the Pentagon, all that shit.
And what did all that
That's
truth?
what they did last time.
And may I ask you, Michael, what did all that truth that was thrown right in your face do for you ever?
So it did nothing for me, except showed me a little bit behind the curtain. It showed me that, man, these people really are not trustworthy whatsoever.
Was anything ever done about it? And was the issue ever addressed, or was anyone ever held accountable?
No, of course not.
Right.
Of course not. Of course not.
This is the future that we have to rely upon. This is a new roundabout. It's not a dead end. It's a cul-de-sac. It just never stops. The fucking vicious cycle is what this is.
Well, yeah. I don't know. Listen. The fact that we know where everybody is and what's being done and who's selling what and who's making what, and we're not doing anything about it. That's a big red flag. The fact that Trump didn't say, you know what? Let's wait on the drugs. Let's go after the guys that are moving people around the world. Let's go after them first. But he can't say that because his circle is included in that. I know a lot of people seem to think that, Trump is like the new Jesus and he walks on water. But
Oh
he is
man.
you're right. He is part of that clan because if he
Yeah.
doesn't come out and go, you know what, we're going to drop the hammer on these dudes. Let's get it. He's not saying
Mm.
that. And there's not one politician that has ever wanted to address that whole situation. That is the page in the uh, politician's book that stays stuck together. And in
Yeah.
some cases, stuck together, ripped out, and then burned. Because they don't want to entertain the amount of people that they're going to have to arrest, or they don't want the public to see their name on that list.
Exactly.
And that's what it really is. I promise you that that's what it is that because they're all the elite they talk about, they point one way, but it's another people. They're all elite. Modern America, if you ain't them, then you ain't them. All right. Like,
That's
and
true.
the powers that be, the scope of it is beyond like comprehension. The power, the influence. You almost have to let yourself go from it and like accept your station in society, because like you can never aspire to the levels of power and influence that those above you have, is the reality. I promise you that that's what it is.
Yeah, man. I hope. I hope that's about all I can say. I hope, because if it goes the way the wrong way, it's nobody fucking wants to go there. I guarantee that. That is SHTF maximum. You know what I mean? If the politicians go completely crooked, if they go completely corrupt, totally tyrannical.
There's no reform left.
No.
There's no reform for America. There's only collapse. Okay. And
Exactly.
if I were you, I would prepare for that.
Balkanization. Yeah.
There is no reconciliation. Every single thing is 51-49 for or against. There is no reconciliation between the two so-called sides of anything. We are so polarized. I have never seen a society so black and so white. There, to the point where there is no gray area. The gray is not allowed. They cut that right out. It's the middle class. They destroyed it. They said, no, you are this or you are that, and you live in that box or else.
Yep.
And that is your modern America. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 1984 in 2025.
You're not wrong.
They definitely want control, but listen, I think like you were saying, we need to tear it down. This again, we spoke about it last night. I don't think contacting your
representatives is going to do it.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to work, man. We have to work by destroying the machine. The only way it works, right? It's like a bad house. Do you keep patching up that house, or do you tear it down?
Man.
The foundation?
Foundation's gone. It's not sturdy. The shit is crumbling.
Stop putting caulk and nonsense repairs into it and freaking do it over. Like it needs a complete restoration.
Kitty's asking a question: Which is killing more people, sex trafficking or drugs?
Well, I got to be honest with you, Kitty. You think so? It's probably drugs. I would say it's drugs, but the sex trafficking is so hidden. We don't really know those numbers, and we'll never really know those numbers because those poor kids, man, they are they're used, abused, and disposed of like items. You know what I mean? Like a fucking napkin or a paper plate. It's disgusting.
And those kids didn't ask for it. These are grown-ass adults who made their own decision to put the crack pipe in their mouth or a needle in their arm. They did that on their own.
True.
So we go after the drugs first.
I think
we go after the sex trafficking first, and not the drugs. The drugs, yes, should be handled.
Yeah.
We should definitely at some point address it. But you want to go after what's killing the kids first. Now, if people are like, we should go after drugs first, then I get it. But you're supposed to save the kids first. Right, you're supposed to.
I agree.
Protect
I agree with you on that one.
Right, we're not supposed to worry
100%.
about the crackhead Jimmy on a corner who decided one day, I want to get higher than I ever been before. Heroin. This is what they do.
Yep.
No one wakes up and go, oh my God, why is this needle sticking in my arm? Jimmy, did you put this needle? No one does that. You know, you actively go out to get drugs.
But no, I totally get what you're saying about go save the kids first. You want to talk about the moral high ground. That's how you get it.
And
And then when you take on the drug cartels, you've already got the moral high ground. We've saved the kids. We went and hid them in Canada in the 51st state, and now we're gonna go take it to the cartels down south. We just got the kids someplace safe.
I think we're leaving something out, and I'm going to throw a bone to the conspiracy theorists in the chat here. Is that the cartel culture and the big pharma culture are intimately connected, like
I agree.
crotch to crotch. Okay, like I think they work together. Maybe you're the type that thinks that big pharma's agenda is to poison the American public, make us weak and sick, because return patients turn a profit. It might be something to think about. And when you consider,
I'm putting it on the screen. Then dealing with children, teens, then they need better parenting. What the hell does that mean?
I don't know.
Because
maybe
kids get straight up stolen at very young ages. I mean, they take them as infants. They steal them from hospitals. They steal them from shopping carts. They steal them from cars.
I think he means like where were the parents at?
Exactly. They turned around and grabbed some bananas out of the rack, and they turned around. Their kid was gone from the shopping cart.
Right. Marilyn Manson and.
Yeah, I mean, that's how these things happen. Or you're into South American poor countries, you're into African nations where they will literally sell you their kid because they are that poor.
Okay, let's go here. Okay, so everybody's keen to like shut their kids up and park them in front of it used to be in our generation, they parked you in front of the television. That digital. It wasn't even digital back then. It's the analog babysitter. But now, give the kids the tablets and the cell phones. You got 13-year-olds running around with cell phones. 13-year-olds out here masquerading as major, as opposed to minors. This is how like minors and humans are harvested through these dating sites and through this online shit, because you gave your kids the damn phone. Next thing you know, daughter's running away to meet some guy she met in Ohio.
Chat room, yeah.
Right. And because of a lack of parenting, maybe if this is what this person means, because that's what I interpret it as, where were the parents at? I remember I wasn't allowed to do shit, bro. I was running the streets of Hudson, New York, 12 years old, and like I couldn't make a move without somebody my parents knew be calling my.
Yeah,
my parents would come home and ask me, "So what'd you do today?" And I better answer right, because they already knew the answer.
Yeah, they're paying attention.
This day and age, and I'm not putting it all on the parents, because
everybody's stuck in their little box, right?
That's it. And the state of society is such that this is a lot to deal with. But you gotta be there. You gotta know, like for as much as I might have hated it or resented it, my parents were up my ass and knew what I was doing. I couldn't wipe my ass without fucking them knowing about it and whether I did it right. And I don't know, look what it does to you. But anymore, that sentiment is lost in society. It's just let the television, let the media, let the tablet, let the video games raise the child. Anything but us. What are you saving all your time for? Mothers and fathers, ladies and gentlemen, raise your damn kids the way you were. Because I'm sorry, Angry, but I got to keep going. Because everybody says, I won't raise my kids the way I was raised. But at the same time, feel mad confident that they was raised just right. So what the fuck? You got to reconcile that.
Well, yes. And the problem is, like today, I told my son, put your phone down, right? Like he was playing Fortnite, which I made the mistake in playing, because now I see the allure with the game. Right? Yeah.
I'll see you online, bro. I'm not Fortniting it, but I'll tell you about another game when we get done.
But anyway, he brings out his phone, and then I said, put that fucking phone down, and he's like, I was like, put it down. He's like, but what? I said, enough, man. You played the game, now you're jumping on your phone. Enough with the phone. And he's 16. He's 16. No, 17. Jesus Christ. They're getting old.
I know, it flies.
Yeah. And they're getting old too fucking fast. Man. This is bullshit. But anyway, so I just found it interesting that like the look on his face was as if I told him to fucking, go fucking clean the bathroom or some shit. He was like, ooh.
Yeah.
I was like, I said,
the horror.
like after that, and I'm pretty rough on them with the phones, and some of the mothers think that I'm too rough, and I'm like, there's
Yeah.
a fucking reason, because look at what's happening now. I mean, the Livingston just said, you got people who have their kids on the phone at an early age, and then the girl is fucking 12, 13 years old sucking some dude's dick in a fucking hotel room because she got lied to on the thing, right? Because we sit
Yep.
here and, like he said, have the phone raise them, and then your
Yep.
kids are saying some off the wall shit to even kids their age, sending titty shots at a fucking 11 to 10 years old or some fucking kid. And I'm like, and that's because we gave the kids trust. I told all my kids, I do not trust you. I do not trust you with this phone. Because it's when you sit there and you go, not my kid, that's when some shit happens. It's always
That's
when
your
it fucking
kid.
happens.
That's your kid.
Right. And so all kids are the same. Like I don't trust any of them. So my youngest, what is he, 10? His mother's like, you think I said, no. I said, don't get him a phone because I will fucking break it with a sledgehammer. I will smash it in a million fucking pieces. Do not do it.
That's the way to do it. That's the way. If you get him a phone, you get him one of those old brick phones. Do not give your kids a smartphone.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Give them
phone.
something that they can actually call you on. If they're going to send a text message, it's a beep, 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 beep,
Yeah.
beep, 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 beep.
Granted, if he needs help,
be
he'll be there forever trying to type out help. But listen,
just call me. It's
yeah,
programmed right there.
character.
Send.
He does. These kids don't know, like, and the thing is I saw this writing on a lot of us saw this writing on the wall, but it's getting worse because I'm going to restaurants, man, and I'm watching parents eat,
and everybody just sits there
but
like
then
this.
the kid's on a fucking tablet. You don't know how much it takes for me not to smack the tablet off the table, because I'm like, yo, you're supposed to sit there and talk to the kid. You're not supposed to sit there and then people go, oh, but if I don't have this on the table, my kid's gonna misbehave. Fuck your kid and teach him how to behave. How about that?
That's right.
Fuck that little bastard.
We do not allow phones at the dinner table. The dinner table is a place for family gathering, family conversation. It's where we break down the day and we discuss things at the dinner table, and my wife is stringent. No, even me, she sees me across the table. You get those eyes and it's like, man, I better put it that right away. I'm sorry. It's dinner time. I better not.
Johnny 30806. Okay, I had the same interaction. It's like I'll fucking call the cops. I was like, babe, check this out. Young man gonna call cops with the phone stuck in his ass. That's how I was raised, and that's how you'll be raised.
That's a good one.
Okay. We're not doing that. Will not be talked down to. I will not have reality explained to me by a 5-year-old who stands 3 feet shorter than me. Another mistake parents make. You know what I get to do? People are like, you're not even a parent. You don't get to talk about it. I'm like, actually, I do, because I get to look at all you motherfuckers fucking it up real bad. Okay. I'm out here outside the box looking in, and I said to myself, you stand here justifying yourself to a fucking being that's like 4 feet shorter than you. You could easily body slam this creature into the ground, but you don't.
Well,
but you intend to justify yourself as if this is some court case. You're gonna, like, Your Honor, I will present the state's argument. No, it's a toddler. I said shut your ass up and go to bed. I can cite fucking sources. I know it. You know it. Everybody knows it. It's bedtime. And that's the end of the fucking story. Don't act hard to me. Okay, I want me to put Christmas bows on the light switches and charge rent around here, because that's easily attainable goal. Okay,
I gotta try some of this stuff.
Because people listen. Up until the age of about 8 to 10, children should be considered pets. You have to train them and start shit in that box. Okay.
The fuck.
Tell me I'm wrong. I said shit in that box. I said do it like this. I said eat now. I said
oh man.
Call me wrong. And after that, as they attain maturehood and start to humanize themselves, then they become like friends and cohorts and fam. But until then, they need I said now. Again, and where everybody goes wrong. I won't raise my kids the way I was raised, but that you were raised apparently correctly, but you're not going to pass that down. So y'all need to work on that.
Yeah, seriously.
Fuck your kids, bro.
Yeah, seriously. You know, it's funny. Kitty just said, she goes, "What dinner table these days? They go to their rooms and eat and study." And that's the other thing too. Like, you're not going in your room and eating, and not only because you know it separates the family, because it also breeds fucking, especially boys eating in their room. You're gonna have fucking rats and roaches hanging out in there, right? And so that's one reason
fucking
why
science experiments growing in your
Never
dishes.
mind the crusty napkins and everything else that's going on.
Okay. You don't want to go in their room as is, let alone, you know, they got food in there now. Yeah, I'm like, no, I said that's not happening. You know, like for example, one of the things in the firehouse we don't do, in my firehouse that is, every other firehouse has a TV set in their kitchen, right? And we don't have a TV set in our kitchen because it forces us to talk to one another. And also, when the young guys try to sneak the phone out of their pockets, I'm like, go put it away. Now, I can't say that to a guy with my time on, or I say it to them anyway, you know, or I try to embarrass people. But I said, we don't use our phones at the table, and we don't have a TV set for the reason because it separates the firehouse, I think. And there's less talking because we're all sitting there looking at, you know, whatever it is. And the same goes for the household, you know, like when you're having dinner, you shouldn't be watching TV, and if you're watching TV, at least it's movie time. But that's the only time, you know, like you guys bond together. But
okay, dinner theater is a thing. That's cool.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
If you're all still bonded, like you're all engaged in the same thing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But
enjoying it together.
Everybody's like, it's the thing. Like everybody's just sitting there with their phones out and like in their own, like, I've heard of people that like are family units that actually just communicate with each other through social media and text message. It's like you're in the same room with the person, tagging them in something and like sharing a video.
Yeah,
or doing
across
whatever.
the room.
And it's like, bro, like, come on, like, what if? Like, just put that stuff down once in a while, like, and cherish what you got. Okay, let's go there. Because these people are in the same room with you right now, and there's nothing in the world that you can trade for that. No digital footprint, no online presence that is going to change the fact that that person that you love is in the room with you right now. Put the piece of technology down, look at them, and acknowledge, you know, whatever experience you're sharing with each other.
Absolutely.
Please.
I remember sitting as a youth across the room from, you know, cousins or friends and trying not to laugh, you know, because you guys got in trouble or something and you're sitting across the room from each other and you know what you did was dumb as shit and you're going to get in trouble and you're both like trying to hold it in. That's what you can do right now.
You couldn't text each other from across the room.
Yeah, like, all you could do is laugh.
You and the cousin walked off, smoked a blunt at Thanksgiving.
Well,
now you know you're in trouble.
Texting across the room was a piece of paper, and you wrote a note in it, and you try to sneak it off to the other person, right?
Yeah, paper airplane.
That was texting back then. They won't see me. Yeah, now every kid, you know, runs around. You know, it's funny though. If you take the phone away from kids, the meltdowns that they go through are like legendary. Some kids. I watched a grown lady. She was grown. She might have been 22, 23. This was in, I think it was either Japan or South Korea, but they were on a train. So maybe it was Japan. But anyway, her phone died on the train. This fucking lady threw the only fit I've ever seen a person throw. She was screaming, crying. She started at some point hitting her head against the plexiglass. I'm like, what the fuck, lady? It's a phone. When you get off, you could charge it at work. It's insanity. All right, guys. So we are at the 10 o'clock threshold. We are, in a couple of minutes, we're going to go off the air. For those of you that are curious or don't know, this is Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival. He has a channel, so go and visit his channel. That is his sidekick, Livingston Man, who is, for the most part, they're always doing live streams together. Livingston Man has his own channel, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, absolutely.
True.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The Livingston Man has
it's a weird time over there. Maybe you didn't pick me up, but if you go over to my channel, it's different.
Absolutely.
Very different.
It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody, but it's for everybody. It's for the children. It's like Wu-Tang.
It's like Wu-Tang. It's for the children.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, guys, I will try to make it on next week, Tuesday. I don't think Thursday night I'll be on. I'll try to move it to Friday night or Wednesday because I'm back at work. It was the longest fucking vacation I've ever been on. It was just, it wouldn't stop. And now I'm going back to work. So hopefully it'll break up the monotony and the bullshit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It'll do that.
Yeah. Other than that, thank you guys for joining.
I appreciate.
Huh?
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, listen,
I would have walked across there. You know, the floor is lava to share a live stream with you, brother. I would have been there. Okay. Thank you for having us. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, gentlemen. So I will see you two when we do the outing. Whenever you plan the outing.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
But other than that, I will have you guys on soon in the near future. Because this is just a lot better. I think it goes a lot faster and there's a lot more conversation instead of people just staring at fucking me for an hour. Other than that, guys,
right on, man.
He was the big head. We big headed him. He was the big head.
Other than that, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you, and ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us.
Have a great night.